Hello everyone, it's Noel from Noel's Nook, back with another video. If you ask most artists when they started drawing, some may answer, when I was a kid. That was the case for me, and when I was drawing, I drew anything and everything and I didn't care what it looked like. Because to me, it was pencil to paper. I drew what I wanted, how I wanted. As I grew and developed with art, I made a lot of mistakes. I mean a lot. Without further ado, here are some of my dumbest art mistakes and the ways I resolved them. Mistake number 1. Using the wrong paper. I dabble in different mediums, but as you all know, I focus mainly on watercolor. But it wasn't always that way. I became interested in using watercolor pencils around age 11. I had just bought a how to draw manga book and the artist stated she used watercolor pencils for skin tones. Reading this, I decided I would do the same. Coming home from the art store with my newly acquired watercolor pencils, I tried them out on drawing paper, only to see that my paper was bubbling and wrinkling and couldn't hold up to the water. Feeling dejected, I set the watercolor pencils down for quite some time. Then one day, I saw a flyer for a different art store and they were having a sale on sketchbooks and watercolor paper happened to be under that listing. I put 2 and 2 together, and I've been fine ever since. It's actually really easy to pick out the right paper. Often sketchbooks will state or list the kinds of medium best suited for its use. And there you have it, crisis averted. Mistake number 2. Shading by oversaturating the darker areas with the same color. Whenever I did shading, whether with colored pencils or watercolor pencils, I used the same color but pressed ever so slightly harder in areas that I wanted darker. When you shade, no matter what the medium or subject, you want to incorporate colors you wouldn't even think to use. It takes some trial and error to see what works best for you, and I suggest practicing on scrap paper for color combinations you're unsure of. Studying color theory and observing reference images closely is a great way to help you pick colors out for your artwork. Mistake number 3. Drawing static instead of dynamic. When I look at my older artwork, I notice some pieces lack movement. Sure, there are times when the mood of a scene is more casual, but for those times that you want to portray energy or suspense, learning how to pose your characters, developing knowledge of layout and composition, as well as taking advantage of dynamic angles will add to the overall feel of your drawing. If you have trouble coming up with or drawing poses, use references. I'll put some links in the description for a few sites of reference models, but fair warning, these sites include nude models, but there is a toggle for clothing preferences on both. As for composition, that is the arrangement of your subject in your art, do a quick search with keywords like dynamic composition or drawing angles, as well as drawing perspective. The search results will hopefully give you some ideas that you can put into practice on your own. Mistake number 4. Drawing characters facing the same direction. In several of my childhood pieces, I drew characters in 3/4 view. While I have drawn characters from the side and straight on, 3/4 view and other similar variations are always my go-to. Like I said before in the last segment, a quick search will help bring up lots of references and tips for drawing at other angles. Going on a slight tangent here because I thought it was interesting, I was watching a documentary where a right-handed mangaka said he had trouble drawing faces 3/4 view facing the right. As a result, he would draw the character facing the left, but when it came time to revise the final draft, his assistant would actually flip the faces he drew to face the other way. While this is a great workaround, still try your best to practice angles you're shaky on. I'll link a description to that documentary below. It's really fun to watch. Mistake number 5. Sticking to one art style. This is possibly my biggest art mistake of all time and what I blame the most for the hindrance in my artwork. Growing up, the only interest I had was in anime. I didn't like still life, I didn't like landscapes or architecture. If it wasn't anime characters, I wasn't interested in drawing it. While there's nothing wrong with drawing in an anime style, you'll do yourself a favor if you practice realism and draw from life. I started painting simple beaches, skies, and galaxies with watercolor because I found them interesting, and it's becoming the stepping stone I needed to draw backgrounds. So there you have it, 5 mistakes I made as a growing artist. Have you been guilty of any of these? Let me know in the comments. I hope you can learn from my mistakes to become the best artist you can be. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more art-related content, I would totally appreciate if you would subscribe, and remember to draw what you love and love what you draw. Use references. I'll put some links in the description for You'll do yourself a favor if you practice realism and draw from life.